Hi, everybody. It's Peter Schiff, and this is Friday, July 9th, 2010. I'm out here in Las Vegas for Freedom Fest. I will be returning to Connecticut to campaign on the Red Eye tomorrow night, but I wanted to take a brief moment to record a video blog updating everyone on the progress that we are making with our phone banking efforts that I announced a few days ago. First of all, let me just state that I'm a bit disappointed at this point in the relatively small number of you who are actually making these phone calls. I announced a few days ago that we had a new phone banking system. It's at schiffforsenate.com, my campaign website. This is a very easy system to use. It's free. Right? You make a call from your landline to an 800 number, and the call is free. You can make as many calls as you want to Connecticut voters. The machine, the system will actually dial the numbers for you. So you don't even have to dial. You just have to hold the phone. If a voicemail comes on, it'll automatically leave a message. You don't even have to do that. If an actual person answers, then you can talk. You can either read a script or in your own words tell them why they should support Peter Schiff. It is very simple to do. It is a powerful tool. And if enough of you take advantage of it, I will win the Republican nomination. There is no doubt in my mind. Now, first of all, 64 people in the last 3 days have made calls. That's it. 64 people. Over 10,000 people watched my YouTube video where I announced this system. That is less than 1% of you actually took the time in the last 3 days to make even one phone call. Now, 900 of you actually clicked on the phone banking page. So you took the first step. Then of that, 600 took the second step and actually clicked on the page that allows you to make phone calls. But of those 600, only 64 actually called. Now, I don't know why. Maybe it was complicated. You couldn't figure it out. If that is the case, please call the campaign. Call Schiff for Senate headquarters and ask your questions. Now, we've also recorded a tutorial video that is up on YouTube. I have favorited it on my YouTube page. So after you watch this, just click on favorites and watch that tutorial. So if you had any problems, this should answer your questions. If you still have questions, then call the Schiff for Senate campaign team. They will answer any questions. It is important that everybody do this. Now, of the 64 people who called, one individual in particular stands out. His name is Ed Ferrari. He lives in Hartford. Now, Ed has made a total of 325 calls in the past 3 days. So he has made over 100 calls per day. That's fantastic, Ed. I really appreciate your efforts, and your country will appreciate it, especially if I win this election. But here is my challenge. If Ed can do it, everybody can do it. Imagine if everybody made 100 calls a day, just like Ed Ferrari. We would be making 100,000 calls a day. And that doesn't count the people on my mailing list. It's just the 10,000 people who are watching these YouTube videos. Everybody can call. It doesn't cost anything. If we all make 100 calls a day, I can't lose this race. So the ball is in your court. You know, I got into this Senate campaign because people around the country, just like you, urged me to run. Well, here's your chance to make sure I can actually win. The Republican nomination is in our grasp. We just have to grab it. And that means everybody has to participate. Everybody has to make these calls. And there is no excuse. We can all do it. Everybody has a spare half hour, a spare hour during their day to make these calls. And all we need to do is do it. And I'm going to sweeten the pot a little bit. Here's what I'm going to offer for now. Each day, whoever makes the most phone calls that day will win a free autographed copy of my book, How an Economy Grows and Why It Crashes. Each week, the number one caller for that week will get a phone call from me congratulating them on their efforts and a free autographed copy of my book, Crash Proof 2.0. Now, the only rules are there cannot be, the same guy cannot win twice in the same week. But there will be a grand prize at the end of the Republican primary. I'm not sure what it is yet. I'm not sure how many people will qualify. It might be the top one person, the top 3 people, the top 5 people. I will think about something. But these are individual incentives. And what I will also do is every day I will record a short YouTube clip announcing that day's winner and speaking their name and giving them my appreciation. So that's an extra incentive to do this. But the main incentive should be to help elect me to the United States Senate. I mean, I can do it. These calls are very powerful. Nobody else is doing it. We can make history with these calls. We can make news with these calls. If we're actually making 100,000 calls a day, that's a huge story. You know, and think about the voters that we can touch with this system. We can also use it to help get out the vote. People who have called, we can keep track of the people that you've called, and you can call them again on election day and make sure that they actually vote. And also, you know, I've got to decide when to go up on television, how much money to commit to television in the final weeks leading up to the campaign. The decision on when to go up on TV and how much to spend in large part will rest on the results of the phone banking. If I see that we've made a number of calls, I'll know I have a better chance of actually winning. And if I see these calls being made, it might be easier for me to raise money, to convince people that we have a real shot at winning this race. Because the number of calls will show how strong the grassroots effort really is, how motivated and committed people really are to getting me elected to the United States Senate. You know, if I can't convince my most loyal supporters, the people who regularly watch these YouTube videos, if I can't motivate you guys to make these calls, how am I going to motivate Congress? How am I going to get 99 senators to put their political careers at risk in order to do the right thing for the country? So let's see how effective I am, how much support this campaign and this movement really has. Let's get on these phones and let's make these calls. Everybody has to do it. No excuses. Don't wait for somebody else. Don't assume somebody else is going to call for you. You've got to call. Talk to your friends, talk to coworkers, get as many people as you can to get on the Schiff for Senate website, sign up for a phone banking, and make these calls. If we all work together, we can succeed. I can be the next United States Senator from Connecticut, but first I have to win the Republican nomination. It's a 3-person race. I only need about 40% to win. We can do it. These phone calls can make the difference. You can make the difference. And if you don't make the phone calls and I don't win, you've got no one but yourself to blame. So everybody has to step up to the plate here and make these calls. Anyway, we're going to be watching. We have the data. We know who's making the calls. I'll be glad to announce the winners each day. And I look forward to watching the momentum build. Once again, it's schiffforsenate.com. On the homepage, click on phone banking. There's a tutorial, video tutorial on this YouTube site if you're still having any questions. Anyway, that's it today, folks. I know we can do this. I'm counting on your support. I'm counting on your help. The country is counting on you too. Take care, everybody, and happy dialing.